start it. Let me go ahead and present this so we can see it. Chat. I got my QA open. We got 2 people. Nice. Welcome. Welcome. I gotta get the QA. QA. Welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. Let me kind of start off better. I'll be your host, Jared. So if you have any questions, feel free to add them in the question and answer section or in the webinar chat, and I will promptly get to them and answer them to the best of my ability, and maybe, if need be, create a small project and send it to you. So we can do all of that stuff. Alrighty, I love it. Already right out of the gate. Leah Turner asks, can you show how to open a page direction from a folder? Let me give you some more permission to talk. Could you elaborate on that? What do you mean by
Sorry, I
show to
didn't
open?
direction, I meant directly. So we have some like landing pages that open directly from a folder. So I was gonna see and trying to make another one do the same. I was gonna see if there was a way, an easy way to do that. So basically just opening the folder and like the page opening in the window instead of having to open a new window.
Open in the window. All right, I'm gonna try to build some. I think I understand.
Okay.
Let's see if I do. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna create. This is. Let's do creative repo test. I'm just gonna keep using this one. So like, or actually, I already have something built out. So I have dashboards. Are you looking for like as soon as I go to this dashboard that just loads this page?
That's exactly what I'm looking.
Okay, I gotcha. I think I could be wrong, but I think all you have to do there is let me create a public folder. So I have docs. I'm gonna create another one. This is gonna be for Leah. Yeah, and so if I create a page, what you can do, let me just create a real quick one. I will say this is Leah's page. And then we're just gonna add a goofy label on it. And we'll just say this is hello, the hello thing, and then let's just grab some other. Sure, let's get some bars over nothing. Make this hello a little bit bigger so that we can see it. That's a little too large. 46 is good. There we go. I believe if I go to your folder and then are you in version 8 or version 9? I probably should ask that.
Version 8.
Version 8. Oh, that's fun. Okay, cool. So I think I have a version 8 instance. I can show this one before. It's pretty much the same menu, but when you set it up as a page, right, there's some advanced things where you can say, hey, display it for, different types of platforms, mobile, tablet, computer. But as soon as you save it, it should by default, if I go back to that folder, that should be the default it goes to.
Okay. So just right click and add page or something.
Exactly. Mine says more. Yours is going to be, what is it? It's like, let me log into a version 8 to actually show you the exact naming of it. I believe it is. Alrighty, let me grab that login and then I can show you on that version. Dun 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 dun. It is right clicking. Oh, I gotta be in the designer studio. I've forgotten. It is just really right clicking, going to manage, and then going to page/dashboard, and then page /dashboard again. It's a little redundant, but
Okay, perfect.
yep.
Right in front of my face. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then you can also say set default page too. So if there's a different one, let's see, because you could have like 5 pages on one folder. And so if there are other pages you'd want to default or set as the default, you can set that on that menu there. So you have those options available. Alrighty. Let's see, we got some more coming in. All right. Kiki asked, I have a question on rule table. Is there a way to output a rule table definition in JSON in version 9? I was told there is a step in V8 called GetRuleDefinition, but I could not find it in V9. Oh, perfect. There probably is. Let me see if I can find that one. Sweet. There's already an LNL folder. Cool. Let's do create other flow. And let's go test flow more flow. And if we find it, I think it's like what get rule. It's like get rule definition is probably you probably can't find it. Yep, it's probably not gonna be here. It's going to be in the integration internal services. And I want to say get rule definition. What if it's like in rule service? It's in one of these service steps that we have it. Let me open up my Teams chat. There's one guy I know. He will know the answer to this question. My former mentor Josh Lax. Let me see. Let me ask him really quick. What is the name of the it's under project conversion. Oh, that's where it's located. The get rule. Or no, not what is the name. Where is the get rule definition step located to get rules outputted in JSON? All right, project conversion, you said? Let's go ahead, check project conversion. LMNOP, project conversion. And that's where you say get rule definition. I'm assuming it adds an ID. Okay, cool. So let me just run this so I can familiarize myself with this step. So I'm gonna grab a rule. Let's see. Any rules here? No rules. Wow, we don't create a lot of rules. All right, we're gonna create a rule. And let's go statement rule. Sure. And we'll just say system, not that. We'll say flow data, statement rule equals data. Let me get that rule ID. Rule, there we go. Yeah, first rule in that one. All right, then I think I said like test more flow or something. There we go. And then if I set this as a constant, set that here. Let me get this out, and then that should be the, oh cool, yeah, rule data in JSON. Yep, value name, value type, image data, cool. Anchor, yep, cool stuff. So now in version 9, let's see if we can find it. So I'm gonna go to my flows. And let's go to flow 1. Oh, I already create stuff for this one. Test more flow, please, more. And anything in the internal services is probably in the call internal services. Call internal services or call internal decision service. I always spell it wrong. And since that's in project conversion, I want to see if we have that. Oh, we do, project conversion. And then I think we should have the get rule definition. Boom. Anytime you utilize the integration internal services in V8, it's just changed to this call internal decision service step. So that's where you can find that get rule definition. You have to first select the service name as project conversion service, and then select the method get rule definition. And then you can get your converted rule output thing. Anything else, Kiki? I'll allow you to talk if you have any other further questions.
Hi. I would also like to ask about the matrix. Yeah, the matrix. So if I want to get a condition in a number range,
Mm-hmm.
if can I possibly get that like it's between a lower number and a higher value, right? I saw that there is a toggle for if I want to select as an equal number. If it is possible to do greater than or equal on one side, but only less than without the equal on the other side.
On matrix rules, you're saying?
Yes, on the matrix, like for like the two,
Mm.
like a tree matrix or like a two-axis one.
Let's see, matrix rule. Man, this is really pulling out. Let's see, I can test this out. I haven't created these things in years. Create matrix rule. That's a horrible name because that's gonna confuse me. My matrix. No, here we go. Here we go. We are in the matrix. What? Okay, so I'm having too much fun now. Okay, cool. All right. So if we do it is between. Oh
Yeah,
my
so
goodness.
I
So
think the rules in matrix and in the truth table are kind of different. Like for
they
the
are.
truth table, you got like those like less than, greater than for the numbers, but for they are like more limited ones for
Mhm.
matrix.
I mean, could be. I think it's probably something to do with how we set it up. Like we have to set up the axes a certain way. I did this a long time ago because I think I have data. Okay, here we go. So if I go
Yeah,
to all
so under
rules.
numbers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So there are only like like three rules. So
Mm-hmm.
like for number range.
Mm-hmm.
So, specifically for
This
for
one.
number range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had like a range that it's greater and equal on the other side, but only less than on the other end without the equal. But I don't like when I try to add a number range, it doesn't ask me like which side I want to add the equal. It only has one input.
Yeah, for the range of numbers, like what's the high and low.
Yes.
So yeah, you have to make like multiple ranges. So this would be like from 0 to 5. Or let's say if I do, yeah, 0 to 5, and this is going to be low range, and then I have to create another one, and this is going to be like mid range, and then the low is going to be what 6 to 10, I think, and then the high is going to be high range, and then my low is going to be what 11, and my
Okay,
high
so
is
from
going to
what
be.
I know, currently it's not possible to just get rid of the equal on one side. It has to be either on the like on both sides.
The equal on both sides. Well, let's take this back to the top. What are you trying to evaluate in your process? Because it
Okay,
could
so
be a simpler way to do it. Hmm.
for example, I want like greater than 0, but less than and equal to 5.
Greater than 0, less than equal to 5 for the range.
Yes.
Yeah, I think what you could do here is let's clear all this one, and then you could say range, low value is 1, high value is 5, and then it
Yeah,
will
but what if
include.
it's like if it's like a decimal?
It would still include it because
Like
it's.
if it's like 0.8, then it's not
Oh, I see
within
what you're
this
talking about.
range.
Oh, I see. I see. You're talking about doing that. Oh, okay, I gotcha. So then, could you do, or try like 0.1? Can I
Okay,
do
so
that?
that's only like the only workaround with it, right?
Oh, let me give it
Or
the
I
name of the
have to
range.
use like a truth table instead of the matrix because
Well,
there
I
are
think you
more
could.
options in truth table.
Well, I think we could do it here. Like, if this, you can add a 0.1. So if it's 0.1, or like, how low are we going?
Okay, sure. Yeah, I get the idea. So that currently is
Yeah.
not supported, but there's workaround on it.
Well, I think this would, so this wouldn't solve. I think this would solve it if you, because you can do decimals and integers with the range, and then it should get you
Okay.
between that range, unless it doesn't fit your use case.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Let me know if I can clarify better. Alrighty. Um, let's see. All right, James asks, can page form controls be made available in active form flow subflow? Can page form controls? I'm not sure. The question. Go ahead, James.
Hey, dude. So I got a active form flow and I'm just creating a subflow. I want to kind of manage all my turning on and off fields, populating fields in the subflow. But when I go to the subflow, I don't have the form controls available there.
You don't have all the forms. Say that one more time. I'm just trying to.
Okay, I'm in an active form flow.
I'm in. Okay, I'm there with you.
Like
I'm
at
in active form
at the
flow.
start of a page, I want to kick off and determine whether I want to turn on different fields or turn them off or whatever I want to do.
Okay.
And instead of the active form flow itself being messy with all those turn on, turn off, show hides,
Yeah.
I want to put those, group them into subflows
Okay.
based on what I want. But when I create a subflow in an active form flow, and I go
Yeah.
to that subflow, the form fields aren't available there.
Correct.
Can I
That's.
pass them there or something?
Oh, okay. I get you. I see what you're saying. Let's try to build that. I'm not sure. I got the create form here. So we created an active form flow. So this is like hide some tests. Some tests. We'll just edit this. And then we have show control. And then what's the show control, high control, or whatever?
Yeah, well, actually, I don't want to do it there. I want to create a subflow that has those two controls in it. Those
Right.
two,
So if I highlight this and I group and then I say create subflow
right.
from selection, and then I could say this is my hidden form stuff. And then I create this. Yes, there would be no
See if you go to the data explorer,
mhm,
form controls are no longer there.
correct. Now here's the thing. Can we do it this way? Can I set up
Yeah,
input
that's what I
data?
tried to do. I tried to set up I don't know what to say there though on this form control, form data. Yeah.
Form data type. Let's see if we
Yeah,
can
I
pass that
tried
in.
that. Yeah. It didn't seem to work for me. I don't know if I was doing it wrong.
So if I pass in the form data.
Yeah, see, it's not letting you.
I want to say this is selected path is not valid. So I guess, yeah, so I guess it reads it as something else
I suspect it's
entirely.
because a subflow could be called from anywhere
Mm-hmm.
and form controls are locked into the active form flow processes.
That's exactly what it'd be. I was just curious
Yeah, I was
if.
just wondering if there was a way you could inherit it, if it was a subflow within it.
I mean, I know we could change the flow behavior. What happens if we change the flow behavior? Have we tried that?
No, I haven't.
All right, I'm gonna change the flow behavior. Here's a cool thing. Active, what is it? I think it's like form rule. It's weird. It's a different name. It's rule form rule, default form flow. I think it's this. And let me clear out my input. I don't think that's right. Okay, I didn't. Let's say, hold on. Let me go back in here. Edit this. Go to my data explorer. If I go, yeah, I think it won't. Default, okay, yeah, default form flow. I can do this. Let me go back to this
Yeah,
one.
I'll see what it's defined as.
Exactly, see
Yeah.
what it is.
Mhm.
No, not what this is. Settings. Okay, it's form rule flow. That's what the behavior type is. Let me select form rule flow. Form rule
I was gonna say I
flow.
don't think it's a selectable behavior.
I was
I
about to
just
say,
kind of
yeah.
put the video together on this, and I don't believe active
It
form
is
flow
not.
behavior, yeah, is one that you can pre-select.
Correct.
Yeah, because it's so specific to forms, right?
Exactly. It's like it's married to whatever form you select, and so that's how it knows to populate
Yeah,
itself with it.
well, that kind of stinks. I wish there was a specific subflow you could create that would interact with active forms. That way you could group these things, because I've got some pretty, lively forms with a lot of fields on it that you start doing all that logic in one form, in one flow, it gets messy.
Yeah. The thing you could do is you could do templates, step templates,
Okay,
right?
that's
So like I could
not,
show control. Let's say I show control
mhm.
and I'll hide control. And I think this would be available in everything. So let's say these are my two things,
Mhm.
and I'm going to group them, and then I'm going to save them as a template. and say these are my hide and show logic, right? And then I can create the step template. And I think that will always be there regardless of what flow you're in. So if I created another flow, run flow, we could say example test flow, flu. And if I go to templates, I still have my hide and show via template.
Oh, well, are those available in that template there? I mean, because you just called it a subflow though.
Exactly, it's in a subflow. Yeah, so you can create your logic template and then move it, but so this is to help you reuse it because I think you can't make a subflow out of it, but I think your goal is to reuse,
No, my
right, your
goal was
logic.
actually to clean it up, to make it look, because depending on certain conditions, I could be hiding and shutting off or turning on a bunch of different fields. So I don't want to have all the spaghetti logic in one flow
Oh, I see what you're saying.
that turns off these, 20 fields. And then if it's this condition, it turns off these 20, all that. It just gets unwieldy in one flow. I was hoping to
Sure,
have subflows to say, all right, if it's this, go and do this. And it turns off all that stuff.
sure. So you probably could do that. You just have to output whatever the result is, so that on the subflow, it just on the output mapping of that subflow, it says, okay, cool, let's set that form data to false because you can't pass the entire form in. But I believe you can probably specify this is my checkbox value, right? Let's say that's what it is. And then if I go to Boolean, I think I can then select that Boolean value, right? The checkbox value from my form data, and then I can evaluate it that way. And that could help with that
Yeah,
regard.
well, I mean, it's the logic for determining what path it goes to isn't the big deal. That would still be in the main flow. It's the
Okay.
actual hide and show statements or
Oh, I
set a
gotcha.
value statement based
I
on
see.
that logic. That's the problem because that can get, pretty hefty with depending on how many fields you got on the form.
I see. Yep,
All right, well,
I gotcha.
I was hoping there was some kind of way to do that, but it doesn't look like there is.
No way. Or no worries, not a way. But yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
no way.
All
Alrighty.
right.
Let me go to Smitha. Hi, on the dashboard you are creating, how can we get the URL to share with others? Thanks, we're in version 9. Yeah, so to get the dashboard, oh yeah, so all you have to do, Smitha, is go to your dashboard, right click, and then on more, is it more? There's two more, I don't know why there's two more. It's more, and then it's view integration details. That's how you do it. So it's right click, and you can talk if there's more than to that.
Oh, that
Right click
helps.
folder.
That's it.
Awesome. I like it.
Thank you.
Easy questions, of course. Right click folder, and then I'm gonna type it in for you. And then it's in, what is it? More. And then view integration details. Boom. Awesome. And then Peter asked, hey, I want to transform data before showing it in a table in a form/page, which will surface in another web app. I've been trying forms with advanced data grids or CSV selectors, list map to CSV, but I've only been able to create a simple table where each row in a selection of fields from an object. Any advice on transforming a structure of a table? Is it possible to define columns in CSV dynamically? Sure, I'll allow you to talk and I'll also demonstrate how I would handle this. So let's see, let me read this one more time. I'd want to transform data before showing it in a table, forms as page, which will serve as another web app. Advanced data grids. And you want, so do you want people to be able to edit all of the fields or just some of the fields?
Probably just one, but it doesn't matter too much. Right now, I'm just focused on displaying the data in some way other than each row is a single object.
Okay, yeah. So there's a couple ways you can do it. So let me create something small. I think we got a data structure that I can pull from. Let me just create my own. I'll create this entity. What's in this entity? Comments, last name, first name. Perfect. We're just going to use this CPT. I don't know what that is. And I'll show you that. So if I create CPT data, perfect. I got some CPT data. I want to update said CPT data. I'm going to go to my data structure. Let me just generate a data form. generate form, just so I don't have to build this for ease of demonstration. All that did is it created me a form that has all the values on it, and man, that button is very hard to see. Let's make this, can we make this white so I can at least see it? Pick, okay, cool, got it. And okay, so how do we update this? So a couple ways you can do this is in a main flow. So if I go to flow one, actually I don't want to go to flow one because it's got data. Updating data is I can show that form. Pick or create, pick existing, pick data form, and then I'm gonna fetch that data here. Let's say there's a particular record I want to edit. Fetch entities. Right, result here, no results here. Right, and then I'm gonna do CPT for my data, and then I'm only gonna drag in the first one here for it. So I go to first. And so now if I debug this, right, now I can look at all of the different data. And then I can just say, okay, cool, I want to change this last name to my actual last name, and then change the first name to my actual first name, because I misspelled it, right? I misspelled both of them. Wow. Then I can create another process after it called a selective update step for that specific entity. It all depends on what your data structure is. Since I'm using an entity, I can get my selective update step here. Unfortunately, you'll have to manually go into the user-defined types and then pick the data structure that you've created, and then drag over the selective update step. And then now what this allows me to do is based on the ID of the object. So let's say in this case, I'm going to say the ID of that input that gets outputted. I'm going to change it, and we're going to select from flow. Let me do this real quick. And we'll do the input first name. We'll go to first name, and then last name, we'll go to last name. This is the actual part that actually changes the information. I think comments is up higher. Yeah, it is, because it's alphabetized. And so now I debug this, right? It's going to say, right, I'm going to put Rodriguez, Jared, and I'm going to say C, control C, I have changed. And then I click OK. And then now if I debug this again, boom, see, I have changed. So that's one way you can do it, is you have a flow, you fetch the record, display it in a form of all the fields, and then attach it to a selective update step. The other way you could do it is you can set this as a user action flow for your data. And I can right click this, go to user actions, and I can say this is update CPT data. And then the exact same flow, but the cool thing about this is show form is now I don't have to fetch the data. So I can drop off a step because this action is tied to that entire data type. So all I will need to do is just have that selective update step that I configured in the last one. Entity CPT data, go to selective update. And then after selective update, and then map all the mappings again. So select from flow, put an input. I think it's for last name, first name, and then I think that'll be good enough to kind of demonstrate it. And then what we'll do is, because it already has that entity as an input, we can just merely select from flow, click the entity that's already provided here, and then let me drag over the ID, get the ID, and then get the entity, and then underscore ID. And what this does, as I'll show you, is now anytime we go to our CPT data, I right click this one, I have a new user action where I can change any one of these things. So I can say update, and I will say new first name, and then I click OK, and then now the next time I update it, boom, it says new first name. So that's a couple ways you can do it. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks.
Of course, my pleasure. Alrighty. Okay. All right, Joe S., is there a way to kick off an exe located in a temp directory based on a schedule? I mean, you can. Let me allow you to talk. I mean, you can. What you'd have to do is there is an actual step. I think it's called like execute something. Let me find it.
I think it was called, hold on, run command line program.
That one. Yeah, I think that one might work. Yeah, I think it's probably that one. It's not execute. Run command on a file. File data. No, it's not the one that I was thinking of. There was a specific one. Let's see, file. There was a specific one that I was thinking of that it was actually like run. Basically, it just has a one input and it will run the exe, except the thing with it is you just have to do the absolute path to the file instead of the relative path to it, and then it should take care of that. I guess it's not execute. It was like command line. Execute command, run command line program, because these seem like they're the exact same, just different icons. Run command. Do we have anything? Use shell to execute. Parameter string, command, working directory of the file. A lot of that just seems weird to me. Let me look up documentation, see if there's anything on this step. Execute, or no, run, command line. Why do we have a getting started? Oh, getting started in Visual Studio. Oh, this is for, yeah, that's not that. Yeah, I don't think we have anything on that. I could mess around with it and send you a small project if you're curious about what you need to pass into it. Not sure on the at the moment.
Yeah, I'm looking more like on a scheduled basis, so like every day, every 5 minutes, every 2 minutes, or whatever the schedule would be, just to specify the executable and specify the time, right?
Yeah, well, so let's say, imagine like we've already got this figured out. Like I already know what I have to input in here to load that program or to run it. Then what you would do is you would go into your scheduled jobs folder. So if you're in version 9, we have a whole jobs and events, and then you schedule a scheduled job that just runs that flow, right? New scheduled job, and then you could specify the time frame on how you want to run it.
I went down there. Yeah, I saw that, but I was trying to get the command. That's why I'm asking.
Sure. No, yeah, that's the answer to that part of the question. But yeah, I'll mess around with that command thing for you, and then I'll send you a small project. I'm not sure what what it's looking for specifically in that one. Where did it go? On that one. There we go.
I found the documentation, I put it in the chat.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it. Okay, if you found the document, you want to link it to me?
It's in the chat.
Oh, look at you. Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah. I think, isn't there already another one? Let's see, change forum post. Okay. All right, cool. So let's read this together. So the file which can be passed as a parameter to the command file. Working directory, which is a list of strings. And so the command, so if I create, where's like a test bat? I used to have a bat file that I could run. Let's see, okay, so let's see. Well, let me look at their example. Oh, okay, that's just that. Okay, I guess that works. And see, okay, so that's the directory. Echo hello world, and so that's the file you want to write it to. I just don't, the thing that's weird to me about this step is I don't understand why one would need to add a file. The file which can be passed as a parameter. So I feel like that, okay, let's test this out. This is gonna be fun. So if I'm gonna go here, Boom, boom. And we're gonna run this command, and I'm just gonna create that one example. I feel like I could ignore this. I wanna ignore this. I don't think this is needed. I could be wrong. And then I'm gonna create a directory. This is gonna be example. And then what I can do is let me grab that. Example. That's the working directory. And then I want my command.
What would go under file?
I'm thinking it's ignore. I don't think it's needed. I did it because
I
like,
think he wants the next one I just linked to you, because it doesn't require the file.
yeah.
Look at execute command. That's the only difference between those two.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Take a look at that.
Exactly. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay. So it was the execute command. Yeah. Because I don't understand the file part of it. Okay. So then let's. Oh. Okay. So then let's do that part. So instead of, I don't want that one. So if I do this, execute the command, let's do that. And that one, the command output. Down to this one, execute command. So then this is echo hello world. Okay, so same thing, they're just appending it to a file. Okay, cool. So let's do that. So I just go ahead and I think it's in the command. Let me open Notepad and write it down because I can't have two things. Actually, I'm going to move this to my off screen so you guys can see what the command is. And so the data for the input shall be, doesn't really show me the input. Command, absolute path to the batch file.
So that'd be like ctemp, joe.bat or something.
Yeah, or whatever your file path is. So, so wherever my command's located, I'm just trying to figure out if I need to create a batch file because it just confused me with the wording of the document. Except their example is not a batch file. It's just, it's just this. And then server.
Just copy like notepad.exe to ctemp, and then you'll have an executable to reference.
Right. Well, first, yeah, I mean, I can't. I just want to. I'm trying to understand this example, and then we can test out with that one. And then it's saying one C colon backslash examples. I think that's what I have. I'm just gonna say C colon test.txt. And then let's see what happens if I success or run it. Error code. Trying to, yeah, I don't have a batch file. That's okay. So that's a weird thing. I'm not sure what that was. All right, cool. So let's just try the other one. Let's see. Open up Notepad. Open up file location. Let me get here. Boom. And
Copy it to ctemp so that you're easy.
copy the ctemp.
Yeah, like notepad.exe, wherever the executable is.
Yeah, is it in temp?
No, I'm saying copy it there. Just so that you reference it with an easier path than all that.
Oh, the whole
stuff.
thing? Yeah, well, I don't want to move it. I don't think I'll just run it where it's at. So I found it. Let's see, open file location. I can run with this, and then I can just say backslash notepad.exe.
Yep.
Boom. Notepad.exe. And then we run, and I think that will fail. Yeah. I'll say yeah. It's like I think I fail. Says working directory cannot find file specified. Is it because it's a shortcut? That's why. So then let's just do this. Where is Notepad located? Where is Notepad located? On Windows 10. That's not helpful. I don't want the shortcut. I want to know where the exe file is located. Windows
The
R
shortcut
key.
have the path.
That's what I'm trying to find out. That probably will. Let me open that. Oops. Let's find out. Notepad. Open file location. Properties. System 30. That's
32.
right. So it's like Windows System 32. Home path. I don't know if it can read that. Let's try that if it does it that way.
Probably not. You probably have to say C Windows.
Yeah. That's what I think. But let's go ahead and test it out. Why not? Creative repo, flows, test data. Test more. Come on, I had it. Break the lock. Then we're gonna go add this here. Add this command. Let's see, it will fail. So it doesn't like that because yeah, I don't think it could translated that. So then that's like the Windows. Let's see. If I go
C Windows System 32.
something like that, yeah. So let's do C:\\Windows. If I can spell Windows. System 32 notepad.exe. Then if I debug that, it's trying. It's trying. I'm not sure it's made for exe files though, fortunately.
Say it again.
I'm not sure if it's made for exe files. The reason why I say that is because all the documents that I was reading James sent to me, it was saying batch files.
If a batch
Run
file runs to exe, then that would probably work.
the execute step allows you to execute it from a batch file, similar to the run command files. The main difference between the two is that it does not require a file as an input. Okay, through the path to the batch file. Yes, I think that's the problem because it's obviously it found it and it's running it, but it's not doing anything. What is the use case? What are you trying to do?
So I have a ton of executables that do plenty of different things, and they're all scheduled right now on a scheduler, which I'm trying to move off of this scheduler. Copy the executables over to, let's say, this server, which is running decisions, and then use a schedule to execute those executables.
I wonder if you could use PowerShell for that. I know we have a module we can integrate with.
Yeah, you do.
Where if I can find it. My goodness, what am I doing? If we go into integration, administration, features, all services, and then features, there we go. I know you can definitely do that in PowerShell where I've done that, where I think you can execute something and then you can say, here's the script, and I think it will give you an output. So I would say that would probably be the best way to handle that, is doing it through PowerShell.
All right,
And
so
then
the
you run
goal
whatever
is
you need.
make a flow. If you can get the flow to work, fine, and then schedule the flow.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's, yeah, just install the module, run your PowerShell script that just gives you the path to that, whatever that exe is, and then schedule it through the schedule job flow.
Okay, we'll give that a shot.
Alrighty, Kigas, hi, another question. Is there a way to output the content of a rule table instead of only the output? Another question to output the full content of the rule table. The get rule just okay, so let's create a rule table. Let's take a look. So if I create rules, let's create a rule table. I think it's like what, truth table? Rule table. Data rule table test. And so now you can pick the data element that you're looking for here. And then we can go in and create the verbs for each of the individual parts of the process and call this data. Obviously that would fail. I can add another row or I can add some more logic. Is exists. It contains data and is exist, or let's say I want a whole new thing where it ends with A or something. All right, let me add this to it. I don't know off the top of my head, so let me just test it out and see. So we go here, close, we go to test more stuff. Test more stuff, please, more. All right, cool. Then we got a rule definition. Then I'm going to run this ID. And let's see what we get. Ew. Yeah, it doesn't work. I guess it's very hard to. The question is there a way to output content of the rule table instead of only the output? Doesn't give full content. Yeah, I see that. Because yeah, it does it each it groups the statements in those values there. So is there a way to output only the output of the content? I wonder where that's at here. From the initial, I know like you can get the output through here. But I don't. But you can't really specify. Let's look if there's a step. I don't think there's a step. We could dig around, try to find out. But I don't think there's a step that will just output the output of it. Method name, BBM project. Because what I would do is here on the data explorer side, we get rule definition. Define a output data right here. So if I add another step here, let's say I just make this a create data step with a list of strings. String list. And that is list. Select from flow, then I could go down to that converted rule and I should be able to get the output definition. Let's see, output, defined output data, and let me get all name just to see what they are. And then I think that will display the default output data. Let me go dig a little bit further. Not all name, but let's do. Are you wanting the values of it? Rule output visibility, rule behavior, output data, all outcome name. Let's see what that one has. I don't think I picked that one. Okay, that's just the done path for that. So I don't think there is an easy way to get it. I thought we could have done it through here. All outcome data, which I think I just had. Nope. That just gives the data definition. Yeah, I don't think so, unfortunately. To get the output of it. I'm on it in a very easy way. Let me try one more thing. This is fun. This is interesting. End date, begin date. That's the rule behavior. That's the base 64 image. That's the mappings. This is statements. I don't care about the statements right now. All type name. All is list Boolean. Oh no, that's just oops. That's just determining if it is selected as list. Yeah, and you just want the values of it, right? Do you have allowed to talk? I thought. Oh my goodness, I thought you had allowed to talk the entire time, Kiki. I was trying to.
Hi, can you
Hey.
hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I was trying, so actually like for the root table, I need two things from it. First, it's basically I given maybe 2 to 3 input and it will give me an output and that's like easily done. So I got this. And the second thing that I would like to do is I want to output the whole mapping. So like I'm like creating an API service that I can get the output and also the mapping. Is there a way to get the mapping, which is like the conditions, the values of the input, and together with the output value?
Mm. I mean, I think the answer is probably yes. It's just it's going to be it's not going to be an easy way to do it because you're kind of in you're in kind of in like the detailed weeds of it. So it's going to be finding what that specific type is. Like if I group all the statements and get all the anchor names, I can probably see what this data is.
Yeah,
Flow
because
base quarter long.
currently I
Yeah.
have a root table that that has two inputs, which is two numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and the output is a string. I tried it with the get root definition step, which is someone directed me to look into it. It
Mm-hmm.
gives like a bunch of stuff as you see for the input, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it has anything up on the value of the output. It just says the output type it's a string and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
give the
The
value at
value.
all. Yeah, it's not in it at all for a string.
Yeah. I
So
don't
is
think it
there
would. Oh,
another
let's see.
step or like is it supported in decision
Yeah.
that I can get the whole mapping? Like there's a use case for it.
Output mappings, all value. Like that's one of the. I think so. I'd have to be kind of fumble around here and just kind of see what these properties. I'm just not familiar with this data type, so we could probably all rule up a path. It's one of these properties that could have that information. I just don't know off the top of my head what that is. Let's just do it this way. Why don't I just debug this? Let me look at the output here, and then I can just drill through. So we got root statements, value names value, values data. Okay, so that's going to give us the input that I've looked for.
Yes.
So that's going to be in the, we have to drill down to value, go to value data from the input side. Then on the output side, if we go to, okay, that's the table test. Output data, this is just giving you what the data type member is. So there's no way to get the output name result, full type name.
Yeah, it doesn't give
It
the
doesn't
output
give
value
you.
at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. This just tells you what the configuration of it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think,
So
yeah, it's not in the data set here.
will there be another step that can do it?
You want the value, like what the configured, like, so let me see
Yeah,
if I
like
understand the question.
the whole mapping from the input to out, basically like the
Oh,
content.
you wanted to grab this. So like you want this to say true, is essentially like if default output data true.
Yeah, so I want to get the whole mapping.
So what I guess I don't know what you mean by mapping. Are you talking about like the value? How I'm understanding mapping is like what the user has placed here. Like this is are you trying to say that this is a constant or this is a select from flow?
No, I mean like the values of the input and output. So
Yeah, okay. So
yeah,
like if I set the input of this to be like cheese, just for to be
I
goofy.
think it's not on of this like not exactly what you pass into the rule, is what I define in the rule. So like the whole definition, I want to
Mm,
show them how I come up with the output.
right. Yeah, yeah. And so basically wherever this rule is, you get the JSON package of this, then you want to see this
Yeah, so I want
true
to
Boolean.
tell, yeah, I want to, the use cases I want, like if cheese contains data and exists, it's true. And the second
Got
rule
it.
is if cheese ends with A, it's false.
Correct. I got you. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure that I was kind of going
Yeah,
down
yeah,
the right path. Let's
Yeah.
see. Good rule definition. I wonder if there's one for, let's look at some of the other services. Project conversion. Service. Get rule definition, update flow definition, generate report. import, create rule from definition, create rule table from definition. I don't think it's in the service name. Let's go to like the rule service. And I wonder, let's see, rule, not rule edit service, rule table service. And I want to know, duplicate row, so that's just deleting it. I'll take a look and I'll send you an email if I find anything. I'd have to
Okay, sure.
research and
Thank
find
you.
out. Yeah. Let me know where it is. My inclination is that I think there is, but
Okay.
I just don't know the location off the top of my head. Of
Yes, sure. Thank you.
course, my pleasure. Appreciate the question. Alrighty. Well, I would say this is a very productive lunch and learn. Thank you guys so much for attending. This was fun. Learned a lot of stuff, and obviously Microsoft's not going to let me display the PowerPoint slides, so there we go. So that concludes all of our lunch and learns this week. Next week we'll start with the lunch and learns again from Monday through Thursday. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.
That was a packed one too.